Subscribe to Simply Bitcoin.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. It's another episode of the Meme Factory podcast. This is test stream number 32. As anybody who's watched before knows that we're never going to have a real stream. Only test streams. That way we can't be canceled. And yeah, fuck it. Whatever. Test streams forever. And this evening, we are joined by none other than World of Rusty himself. Rusty makes a lot of the art that you already know and love, but figure we need to showcase him because he's a hell of a talent. Rusty, can you introduce yourself to everybody here? Definitely a standard kind of story. Speaking of standards, I mean, there's not much standard about this podcast. I think if you've seen it before, you know that's the case. And in that vein, if you've ever seen it before, you know that I'm going to ask you to do the ad read for our, what are they called? Sponsors, for our sponsors, because they don't like when I read shit, because I don't read good. So, at your convenience, I've DM'd you your ad copy. If you could hop in there, take a look at it, and read it all for us, then we can get paid. I didn't do anything. Talk again, Rusty. Because it's going to take 60 seconds for the chat to catch up.
This is why they're all test streams.
This is why they're all test streams. All right.
Greg?
It's possible. It's highly possible. Whoa, hold on. Are we hearing Rusty yet or no? No.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I just wait.
I do every podcast on mute, so it's fine. It works for me.
Yeah, I feel like I've got more out of you than any other podcast.
Only thing I can hear is
potato.
you, Greg. I'm muting myself so I can listen in on the stream.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
Give me a second here.
Marty's out says he has a hot date tonight. Hurry up.
I can hear RD.
You can hear RD?
Oh, that's exciting.
Rusty, you need to keep talking so everybody can hear you.
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
I want to know what someone asked Marty's owl what his mandate's name is real quick. All right, continue, Rusty.
Okay.
All right, there we go. They're saying we're live. All right, cool.
Oh, that's exciting.
Rusty.
All right, so I'm back.
Start over with that ad copy, please. I want to make sure everybody can hear it because you
Okay.
delivered it so well.
All right, here we go. All right, I'll try it in my announcement voices. Hi, I'm Rusty, world of and not the trombone. This episode of Meme Factory Podcast is brought to you by the hardworking men and women at Western Civilization LLC and their niche product, satire. Do you enjoy free speech? Do you have powerful enemies too stupid to catch double meanings in their own talking points? Is someone trying to leverage their influence to force a stand-up citizen like you to bend the knee? Well, Western Civilization LLC has an amazing tool that may be right up your alley. Satire. Satire has been used for thousands of years as pure violence to derail would-be tyrants and despots in every sector of society. Satire is best applied liberally to any festering ism in your free society, whether it be fascism, socialism, sexism, and anti-Semitism, racism, or wokeism. A hefty dose of satire works like an antibiotic in a sea of bacteria. When utilized properly, satire will stop any budding ism right in its tracks and help pave the way to a bright orange future. So next time you have a co-worker, colleague, peer peer drops some brain dead, tone deaf, Crimea River woke sob story or illogical demand, be sure to use one of Western Civilization LLC's best tools and unmask that person for the fool he or she is. Satire will expose any hypocrite or liar in opposition to the core values of Western society, LLC guaranteed. Stock up on satire today by heading over to Pleb Magazine or Bob Malakis PL on Twitter for your daily dose. How'd I do?
You
Nice.
did so good, Rusty.
Paid?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. We can get paid now.
Paid.
One small
Okay.
correction is that
His
it's
chair
Bob
was
Malaka's
dropping it, dude.
PI.
I'm sorry. Did you guys hear the toilet there? My bad.
Bob Malakis PI. My bad. That makes more sense. Whoa. Hey, Chair Force is in here.
Whoa!
Chair Force is in
Surprise.
The fuck?
Everything come out okay?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it
good
was,
to see you. All right.
Oh,
we're
So
usually
you
wait
started
till
the
3
stream
drinks,
in-
but it's all good.
in
I
Greg's
got-
closet.
Well, just shut up, Rusty. We're doing a thing.
We're having a moment.
Did I
You
miss
have
something?
him hidden in a closet under the bed.
No, he was taking the shit.
It was a big shit.
It's a big shit. All right,
It
so
would have been funny if it came out from under the bed. Actually, that would have been good.
all right, so
Let's do
Rusty,
this again.
do it again. Do you want me to read the ad copy again?
So wait, all this time you were like in the bathroom with the light closed?
I was taking a
Shut
shit,
up.
bro.
Nature calls.
Okay.
All right, Rusty. How the hell did you get into making art for Bitcoin?
It started with Tone Vays, actually. I was during my early days of trying to make money. I was trying to understand why I was losing money when I had invested in Bitcoin back in 2017, 18. So I started looking up, why are the charts going down? And I came across Tone Vays, who was talking about charts and everyone going to go through that phase. And then one day he was just tweeting. I was listening to his streams every day, his news shows. One day he tweeted it was actually a ridiculous brief. He put out a picture of him and then had all of these notes coming off his face. And I want to wear a hat and I want to be holding a microphone and I want to be wearing better clothes and I was like, what the fuck? Everyone's going to look at this and be like, what the hell are you talking about? You can't just ask someone to like dress you up in these when you don't actually supply the image. And but that's kind of my skill. My skill is kind of making things look real. So I thought I'd give it a crack. So I got a bunch of pictures of him. I basically made this picture of him that had almost didn't look anything like the original picture he posted. And he responded and then he emailed me and said, do you want to do some more work? And he needed a graphics person. And then I was like, holy shit, all right. So I started doing his thumbnails, and it just kind of took off from there. And then when everyone saw my work, I just had more people coming out saying, hey, can you do my thumbnails and profile pictures? And it just kind of snowballed. And then at the end of 2019, I had a kid, and another one was coming. And I just couldn't. I was traveling. I was a senior project manager for an exhibition company, traveling the globe, doing these big custom builds, designing them, and then project managing them. And it was just I couldn't travel anymore. So I said to work, can I stop the travel? Can I go down to maybe 3 or 4 days a week? And they said, sorry, we can't do it. We need you to travel with your work. We need you to We need you to be here full time. And so I decided to take the leap and do it full time. So I just followed my passion into graphics, started up my own little biz, and just doing Bitcoin graphics for content creators, Bitcoin only companies. And then COVID hit. My old company shut down all travel, and everyone at the company went to 3 days a week. So it was kind of pretty ironic. I left just before basically everyone went to what I wanted. But it's still a cool move. Like I've just it's meant more time with my family. I'm not away anymore. It's just like it's changed my life. Definitely the whole Bitcoin community. It's crazy how generous Bitcoiners are, to be honest. I think when you get into Bitcoin, you start to realize, you start to value time, you start to value money, and you start to value other people's time and other people's money. I think in the fiat standard, it was like I'm doing work, just give me your money, give me as much as I can. It's like this kind of greed, this high time preference. And then Bitcoin kind of, I think that's why Bitcoin is generous. Like I do work for someone, and they appreciate the time I put into it, and they, like you guys. I remember when I did the what is it? This one over here. Your Last Supper. Everybody, all of you guys just like chipped in, sats, and it was just like a beautiful thing. I did something for RD recently, and then I did it just for the love, but he was insisted to send me some sats. I
knew RD had somebody doing his memes.
Is that what we're seeing in the corner there? Is that what you made for him with the lightsaber?
What, this guy over here? Yeah. I made the chair force. I originally made it for chair force. This is my share screen hack. I made this one for chair force.
Look at that.
And then I made a one
that is
for RD
badass.
with a red lightsaber. But I had him like in, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I had him like over the corner of RD. You can probably show you. It was pretty cool.
I've just tweeted it.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
So good, mate. Look, just going back to a point you made, you're describing Bitcoiners as being generous and whatnot, but I don't think you got the memo, Rusty, because we're actually all psychopaths, dude.
Yeah.
Your anecdotal evidence here, I'm sorry, doesn't really stand up in the face of some study.
We can be generous psychopaths. We're not sociopaths.
I forgot about the scientists. That's right. Yeah. Scientists. We are psychopaths.
Yeah.
Which I like, because you can't say rabbit hole anymore because you guys ruined it. So I saw someone saying the other day, it's just called the psychopath now.
Nice.
Hey.
I like that. So we'll just ban rabbit holes because you guys made that unfunny.
Speaking of that, are there other rabbit holes that you've gone down besides?
Psychopaths? I thought we were going with psychopaths.
No. We need to know what other rabbit holes you've been down.
I think I do. I'm pretty sure I have some sort of mild autism, like we all do. And when I look up something, I usually go down pretty hard. One of the ones is like, for example, I wanted a better coffee. It's like the Bitcoin curve. Kind of, you go through these phases where you try a different coffee mechanism, like a plunger or something, and you just want to try something else. So
you used a bathroom implement to make your coffee?
A French press, I believe the official terminology is.
I mean, you said plunger, so I mean, I'm just thinking like
French press.
Is that like an Aussie thing? Do you guys call it coffee plunger, or is it just an Australian thing?
Yeah, it's called a plunger. I'm just fucking with
Okay, all right, cool. Thanks. And then I bought the coffee machine, and then you upgrade to the dual boiler espresso machine, and then you just keep like leveling up. And now I'm like to the point where I roast my own coffee. and I went into the deep dive on the science, what happens when you roast beans.
I don't want to know about roasting beans because right now we need to roast you. There is a number of pieces of art, canvas art on your website, right? They're all beautiful. They're all wonderfully priced. They're like $290 a piece. Is that Australian dollars or US dollars?
Australian dollars, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so that's like what, $5 American?
Something like that, yeah. We got Monopoly.
It's a few thousand cents. It's not much. So what I need to discuss with you is there's a slight price discrepancy on one of the on one of the canvases.
We were doing some independent research earlier.
Yeah,
and we discovered that
Bob
there
Malakis he told us about it.
Yeah, which one was cheaper? I thought I had them all pretty fairly priced, unless one of them is worth less for some reason. I'm not.
Yes, the Last Supper piece. Not only is it cheaper, it has a brief description of why it might be cheaper on the website, which was insulting to say the least.
It is cheaper. But as an artist does, I left it up to the audience discretion on why they think it's cheaper. That's what I left it. Is it cheaper because I want everyone to buy it over everything else? Like that could be it.
That puts it in a good light. I feel better about
it. It doesn't say that on your website.
It might be cheaper so that some of us could actually afford it.
That's the other. Oh, that's right. That's the other description I put on there. I forgot about that. Okay. So yeah, I put on there that it's perfect for a wall that you hope no one will see. I forgot about that. Okay.
Wartime yellow's.
Yellow's coming out.
Is that OPSEC, Rusty? Okay. Is that for good OPSEC?
For good OPSEC because of the exactly.
Right.
So is that why you guys all changed your names to Wartime? Is that the thing?
There was an issue yesterday that we had to take care of.
There's a small side story that we're not going to get into tonight, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that'd be dangerous for all of our jobs.
It took care of itself.
Yeah. No, what I meant is like man caves and and OPSEC reasons and stuff. Thanks, AD. Comes in with the save.
All right, so tell me more about why are you roasting your own coffee and what kind of machinery do you need to roast your own coffee in your own house?
There's a couple of ways to do it. I got a couple of electric drum roasters, so it's it uses those heat bar heaters that you have in your bathroom sometimes or outdoors. Yeah, it's just like one of those in like an oven, and that's what I use. It's like 400 gram. I got a couple of them. I started roasting for the community, like during the pandemic. Coffee price was going up because of inflation. And so I started to, and also the shelves were getting stripped of coffee. Everyone was stockpiling. So yeah, I was ordering in green beans and roasting it up, and I started a little community, just a free delivery to the community, and started roasting just to kind of, get to know the neighborhood and roast coffee for people, kind of share the love.
So can we buy Rusty's nuts on your website?
I don't know. I don't know what the shipping is with coffee. I could probably roast. I did buy like a whole heap of El Salvador green beans to make like a Bitcoiner blend. But I'm not sure what it's like to send it overseas. I'll have to look into it.
You need to figure it out because I'm gonna buy some.
I want some of your nuts.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Sean, you want some of his nuts?
Well, I want those nuts, and the place I want them is in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta put them in your mouth all the way down to the stomach.
I mean, it's. I don't know how you guys drink coffee over there, but that's kind of that's not how it's done.
I'll slurp your nuts right out, buddy.
All right, I'll see
I
what
thought
I
they
can
were
do.
beans. Aren't they coffee beans?
That doesn't work for the joke,
Not
Sean.
if you want to make a joke work, Sean. Shut the fuck up.
I like it.
Pardon these Americans.
You're American.
Rusty. No.
Yeah.
I've learned
He's
better.
cultured. He's cultured. I live in Europe.
Yeah, I do live in Europe.
Actually, I saw something about you. Something about you joining the meme cards. Is that like?
That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Well, I saw some
Sean.
hard evidence. The guy had a French accent, so I mean, it sounded legit.
Let's just say, Gigi Lemur, he's putting out some money right now. So
Ooh, head Sean.
It just
money.
shows how cheap you are, Sean.
Just money. Just
It's
money.
only true. It's only true if Bob Malacca said it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it come out of Bob Malacca's yet. So
he made me aware that there's some big clout in my name.
Yo, Sean and I went to the Big Cloud freaking meeting at the conference. We were there 10 minutes. We were like,
how did that go?
We're out.
I did not go.
You're out? As in you rug pulled your tokens, or you mean you? Is that what you mean by you're out?
Oh, did I say Big Cloud? I meant Breed Love had a party, but after 10 minutes, Sean and I were like, gay.
Yeah, we pieced out because it was like another conference after a 2-day conference already, which
we wanted to drink
conference was great.
Yeah. Speaking of the conference, I know that you did some work for the conference, Rusty, but I actually seriously don't know. Tell us about what you did.
Yeah, I got to thank you for hooking me out with some stuff. Well, it's something you probably all saw, but they got me to do a couple of banners. There was a banner there for last minute banner for, I think it was like the Bitcoin meetups, local meetups or something. So I did a backdrop for them. It brought me back to my exhibition days. Doing all this work, it's kind of cool. And then the other one I designed the floor plan for the show. So they had on the app, you could go click on the floor plan and see where all the stands were, and they wanted to make it all kind of it kind of looks like an architectural drawing, and they wanted to make it look cooler. So I designed up all the segments, the color coding segments, and dropped some. So I did that for them. It was just a little side gig.
Awesome.
And then I did some like animated gifts and stuff for New Year's Eve and for Christmas for Bitcoin Magazine. It's been cool. I had a chat with CK and Rizzo and a bunch of those guys. And I'm going to see if I can do a bit more work for them over the coming time. So it'd be cool.
Yeah, buddy. Circular economy. Here we go.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, they were actually, it was weird. It was actually a bit of a runaround to get paid in Bitcoin, but I got there eventually. I think a lot of the time, like Michael Saylor, same thing. He didn't want to pay me in Bitcoin, which is fair. Like why would he pay me in Bitcoin? He made a street cred. He would lose some street cred. Had to go through a lot of loops to get signed up for a MicroStrategy. So I technically work for MicroStrategy as well, which is kind of cool, on their payroll. That was fun. That was
nice.
I can't even remember how it all started with Michael Saylor. I think I just posted a picture. Oh, that's right. I did an artwork inspired from one of his tweets, and I sent it to him just randomly, and then he saw it. He said, "That's pretty cool. Can you do some more stuff for me?" And then it was like full surreal. Ended up doing his profile pictures and then a bunch of a series that I started putting on canvases now. And the one behind me is the one he did with Bitcoin in cyberspace. And we did like a full series of artworks. I sent him the website the other day. He said he'd check it out.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Hey, into TMX in chat, yes, it's gay, and yes, it's intentional. Sorry. He's saying we're gay, two guys. We're sitting in a bedroom.
I don't know what he's talking about, but all right. So, where you going? We're doing a podcast.
He's trying to back up. He's trying to have 6 feet of separation right now.
I got you.
And he should just log out. There's like this blank chair force.
I have to have the headphones, man.
Because I can't hook him up. Sorry. We're locked into this, boys. I've got a giant bottle of potato vodka.
Let's go.
All right, so Rusty.
Look at yellow.
Let's get into Bitcoin. Let's get into government. Let's get into unauthorized seizure of the value of your time. I get pissed off when I have to pay Social Security out of a paycheck because I know I'm never going to see a dime of that money. Well, let's just say I'm never going to see the value back that I put in. It's baked into the system. You guys have anything like that in Australia?
Yeah. So it's something I've been looking into recently. It's something I changed big time. And it's like I've come to the realization that it's like a massive Ponzi scheme. We call it superannuation here in Australia. And I don't know if it works the same way, but basically when you get a full-time job now and you've got an employer, you get, I can't remember how much it is now. It's something, they keep raising it, but it's like 9% or something of your wage goes into the Ponzi scheme, compulsory. And you just put it into a superannuation company, and the argument is that everybody keeps spending all of their money, and by the time they retire, which the retirement age keeps going up, but I think it's like 65 or something, that they got no money, so no one saves, and then everybody goes onto welfare, and it costs the government money. So it's just kind of I can see the theory for the normies is like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, put some money away, get a fund manager to like look after it and grow it, and then by the time I retire, I get this like nest egg to live on. But it's just, to me, especially thinking about it in terms of Bitcoin, it just seems like a massive Ponzi scheme. Your money gets taken from you. The government, tells you to put it into these funds, and then the fund managers just kind of, buy and sell shit for you, and you get 8% a year, or if during the financial crisis, like a whole bunch of people got their superannuation like almost wiped out, but they blame the market, right?
So superannuation is tied to market prices of like public
because
companies, or is it bond market stuff? Or?
Yeah, so you can choose. There is a little bit of control you have over, depending on who you're with. You can you can choose to put this is and I started looking into it and asking questions, and they don't give you much information. You say, well, what's my money invested in? And they're like, no, we can't tell you what your money's invested in. I'm like, what do you mean you can't tell me what my money's invested in? It's like, can you tell me like a percentage? And I say, well, look, you're in the 90s. I was born in the 1980s, and they're like, you're in the 1980s fund. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, what's that? Well, you've still got 25 years until you retire. So you've got some higher risk stuff in there because you'll get better gains over the long term. And I'm like, okay, like, what are we talking? Like equities? Oh, we can't tell you exactly. It's just like high growth stocks. Okay, all right. And then like some in cash or bonds, or some in whatever like cash equivalent, that kind of. All right, okay. And then I said, well, what options do I have? And some superannuation companies you can you can decide to invest in kind of vague naming pools of money, but it's like really indescript. And the more and more I asked, the more and more it's just like it just didn't make any sense at all. It's like, and then I asked him about Bitcoin. I said, I told him, I said, I'm a toxic Bitcoin maximalist. I want to put some. She said this is the first time she's ever heard someone call themselves a toxic Bitcoin maximalist.
I don't know if you heard, but toxic Bitcoin maximalism is dead today.
Is there?
Yeah, there was a.
The weird part of that is that Vitalik just wrote that article that in support of maximalism,
in defense of Bitcoin maxis.
Hey, can't make up their minds.
And then the more I dug into it, the less and less information I was getting. I just they said they took me through. I said, okay. They said, we can run you through a questionnaire, and we can tell you what you think. How we can change your superannuation weighting into something that's more suited to you. I'm like, sounds good. Let's do this. And I went through, it was like an hour long an hour-long questionnaire of like asking me things like, what's your time preference, what's your risk tolerance, all these questions that are just like my risk tolerance is like off the charts. My time preference is extremely low.
Time preference low, risk tolerance high, baby.
Yeah, she's like, how are you with volatility? So yeah, she was asking me some questions that were like right up my alley, but and answered them all, and then at the end she was just like, yeah, well, it definitely seems like we're gonna put you in the like high growth fund. I was like, okay, cool, all right. So like, what's that investing in? And she's like, what? That's like more like indices that we're gonna put you in, like indexes.
That's
and I was
the
like,
high growth fund.
Bro,
yeah, I was like, okay, cool. All right,
face palm.
I was like, okay, I know some indexes like that whole Nasdaq thing, the NASDAQ and the salt and pepper thing, the S&P and the, I was like, which ones are you going to put me in? She's like, oh no, we can't give you that much information. And I was just like,
what?
Just spent like, they literally just couldn't tell me. And so yeah, so anyway, we had this thing where it's kind of a complicated process, but you can do a self-managed super fund and start up your own like ABN like company and then run your own fund.
What's
and then put
ABN?
it into whatever you Australian business number.
A missile, like a missile.
It's not a shitcoin. It's not a shitcoin.
It'd be EIN in the US for anybody watching.
Yeah, that's it. And you start your own fund, and so that's what I did. Started my own fund, and of course, like the process took about 6 months. They really make it hard for you. I had to send like a photocopy of my passport to my old superannuation company that's notarized by a JP, and then sent to a PO box in the city. I was like, what is this? But yeah, went through all the hoops, and now my super, or part of my super, is invested in Bitcoin, which is kind of cool.
Because you created this ABN.
Because I created my own self-managed super fund. Yeah.
Are other Australians able to utilize this?
Yeah. So anyone can do it. I used a company. There's companies set up that do all the hard work for you, and they charge you like, I think it's free for the first few years, and then it costs you $1,000 a year to do all the accounting work. Which is like pretty high fees, but I mean, I've got my money invested in Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure I can handle $1,000 a year. It's like,
be all right.
They told me by the time I get to 65, this is the superannuation company. They said, with our new calculations, putting you in this new growth fund, you will at 65, you will have approximately $765,000. And I was just like, okay, how the fuck can you calculate that? What is $765,000?
And you'll get a one-bedroom house by the time you can pull it out.
Not even.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like,
that's a motel room.
And this is and they told me that this is in comparison to what I used to be on, which was you were only gonna retire with $480,000, and now that we've upgraded you to this growth fund, you're gonna make $700,000. I was like, what bullshit is this?
I think you misunderstood my question when I asked if other Australians could get into your fund. I wanted to know if instead of doing it for themselves, could they just hop on board to your fund?
I mean, they can't. They can give me money if they want. But
fuck
no. It's not like a super. It's like a trust, and then my wife can put her superannuation in there. But yeah, no, it's not like a fund where I can invest other people's money. But everyone can do it for themselves. Yeah, which I think is like such a no-brainer. And when I asked when they were going to have a product where you can invest your super into Bitcoin, they said, like, we've been talking about it in board meetings, and we're thinking maybe in 5 years we'll probably have a product that you can. Just like, that seems so crazy. Like Bitcoin is the best low time preference. Yeah, and like superannuation is low time preference. I can't touch the money until I'm 65. Like, come on, it's like
in 5
no
years will be
brainer.
$1 million a coin. Like, what the fuck?
You have at least 700,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
it's just
so, I was talking about this earlier tonight. I think like one of the reasons why Bitcoin gets so attacked is because it's so transparent. You know, like everything about Bitcoin, you can find out all the information. Like you can find out the hash power that goes into it. You can find out everything is on the blockchain. And with other financial instruments, it's not as transparent. So you can't attack. Like, how can you attack something that you don't have the information to? And I think it's like that's one of the reasons why they obfuscate traditional finance. Those trad fires, you know, it's just totally obfuscated because that way you can't attack it.
I had trad 5 for the first time this past week. I think it was Optimist Fields.
Yeah. We're making trad fires a thing.
It's a new to me. I'm gonna have to look into that one.
Traditional finance.
We got a question in the chat for Rusty.
Makes sense. Oh yeah. What's up?
Hey, we got a question in the chat for Rusty.
What's your favorite meme?
You got it? There's a question. Chair 4 says there's a question in the chat.
Hey, do we have any questions from the chat, maybe?
Yeah, I think we have a question from the chat.
Pedro should definitely read it. He's got the best voice.
We have a question from the chat.
Sorry, guys, I'm busy.
You're busy? Labra, maybe you can read it.
Yep. Real question, Rusty. What's your favorite meme?
Oh man, far out. What's my favorite meme?
Before you answer that, what's other rabbit hole like you've been to, and what's your favorite meme?
Have you been on any other psychopaths?
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That has to be the thing. That's the new thing. I like it. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for getting on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you remember the question.
I went down the psycho path of cocktails recently. Started like really researching cocktails.
You're big into your drinks because you were talking about you're talking about those roasted nuts, and now you're talking about those cocktails.
Well, now I'm curious where
coffee.
Rusty scored on the autism test that we all took.
That's another psychopath.
I do have my son does have autism. I think he probably gets it from me. I don't know. I didn't take the test. So I don't know if that's like just denial or I don't know. Yeah.
Self-preservation.
Self-preservation maybe. Yeah. But my favorite meme, I mean the one that stuck with me the longest is definitely that the Neo one because I like that. I think that's like I like that message.
That's Sean's favorite too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that one.
That's Sean's favorite meme.
Yeah,
love that one.
Yeah, me and Sean feels like we're like becoming best friends.
Do you know about the monsoon?
The monsoon.
Marty's all is asking when moon.
Monsoon.
Monsoon. Nice. I got a question for you. If the meme factory doesn't exist.
Wait, we ask the questions.
Sorry, RD's questions.
RD's on mute.
RD, get off mute.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rusty. Go ahead.
No, it was a question about the meme factory has like the TM trademark, and I was just thinking like if it doesn't exist, then like how can it be trademarked? Like
the TM stands for
that's autism right there. Let's go.
Conundrum, isn't
TM
it?
stands for totally made up.
It's everywhere.
No,
there is no.
We thought it'd be hilarious that if it didn't exist, it was also trademarked.
Makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna answer with a question. Like, if we have the TM that we have the TM, right? Does it exist for others to use?
Absolutely, it's open source.
Open source TM.
But it has TM.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
All right. Anybody listening? Hold down the Alt key and 0153. That's your Unicode for punching a TM into anything you're typing.
I'm definitely going to have to write that down. What I usually
I don't
Google,
even know what he just said.
Yeah, I've already forgotten. But But what you can do is I just Googled trademark symbol and then I copy and paste it.
That's what I used to do. It took too long. I was using it too much.
How long did it take you to find the right combination to get the trademark? Did you
153 times?
No, you just Google Unicode for trademark symbol.
You didn't SHA-256 that? You didn't brute force that one? Or what?
He started from 000.
I feel like I'm being 51% attacked right
now. Well played, ID. I liked your panel at the conference. That was up there.
That was fantastic.
I was on 1 hour sleep.
I know you're new here, Rusty, but we don't compliment Greg.
Yeah, actually, that was one thing I was going to, because I've noticed that I'm the only one that checks in on Greg in our chat. It doesn't exist. And because everybody is constantly on Greg, and it's not just the fuck yous, but it's there's private memes that are just you share within the group, and all of it is just piling onto Greg. And so I'm the only one that occasionally checks in and is hey Greg, just checking in on your mental health. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Rusty's a Greg apologist. Don't be a Greg apologist.
There's a method.
Greg's ego is so big that you got to constantly just be beating him down in order to just contain it and not let it just take over all of Twitter. So,
actually, who was it that told me the warning about if we give Greg too many compliments, he gets uppity? Who's the
uppity?
RD. Fuck you, Greg was invented because of his ego.
It's uppity, okay, yeah. So I do get the uppity factor. So I'm finding a balance in there.
Did you know that Greg's a genius, by the way? So you gotta hold it down a little bit.
Mary Kelly's laughing in the kitchen.
Yes, she is. Wait, that was sexist. Why would she be in the kitchen?
Because she spilled the nuts. I mean the beans.
No, man, there's a method to the madness, right? So, you got to lead by example, right? So, if you're going to meme, you got to be able to take the fucking heat, especially if you're on Twitter. And, whatever Twitter wants to call you.
If you're going to be on Twitter,
roll with it.
You've got to be able to take the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's some soft memers. There's some new age memers that are soft.
There's some also very soft crypto influencers, but we won't get into that either.
No, we won't.
Yeah, I would say that
we will not.
A lot softer than any memer.
Bitcoiners can grow. Crypto people, not.
So anyway, Rusty, I want to know. I didn't realize that you were Greg's white knight in the future, but given that you mention it, what does that say about your epic dumping on me when I created a baseball cap for Mikey Saylor?
Yeah.
With Tahini's written on it. And you came back with one side cap of Tahini's and another side cap of McDonald's. And it basically looked like a fucking photo of Mike Saylor wearing these things. Dude.
Yeah, I sent that to Saylor. We didn't use it. But because I didn't want, he was taking a lot of heat for two-timing Tahini's by mentioning Macca's after he made it very clear that he was on Team Tahini's. Actually, that is a question. It is a question for you guys, maybe specifically for RD. Does shit editing make the meme funnier?
RD, go.
I wouldn't know personally, but yeah.
Yes.
Because you've never made a good one, right?
I've never made a shit. Yeah.
Oh, the other way. My bad.
Never done shit editing. Yeah. Oh, fuck you, Greg.
Yeah, it is a question because I sometimes I do some because my go-to is to make realistic looking shit.
Yeah. And so my opinion for Labra, the shitty editing and stuff works, and Greg nowadays too, but he's gotten better. But I like to edit.
Wait, he's got better at shitty editing? Is that what you're saying? He's getting better at shitty editing?
There's an art to shitty editing, right? So as you learn new skills, you have to tone down how good you are at it, so it kind of looks shitty, so people feel like they can do shit.
Labra's
Wait, so what you're saying is that I did a bad Photoshop of my avatar today because this is
Honestly,
real.
that's probably the best you've ever done.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I have to
very
say
realistic.
that's like
Guys, look at those
that's
mountains.
pretty good.
Those are actually really good mountains.
And not only that,
Yeah.
his eyes line up for what he's looking at, right?
Because I'm looking at the mountain.
Yeah,
You
it's
see the
the
second
mountains.
peak there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely tell you spent some time on that one. That's not bad.
So RE hasn't even come off mute yet since the question you asked.
Yes, he did. He said yes.
He said yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I think there's like some secret sauce. There's obviously a line. There's a scale, but on shit there's like, you know, obviously like my stuff is more realistic, and then you know, down the other end like RD stuff is a bit like super, and there's like a secret sauce in between. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh, shots fired. That's the
Speaking of
motherland.
egos,
Rusty, would you say there's a reason why RD hasn't gained 100 followers in the last 2 months? Is because of his bad meme?
And
oh, we're airing dirty laundry now.
I have to put it. This
I'm
could be
leaving.
my.
I'm going now.
RD is one of my favorite meme factory guys. Although that could be that whole white
Wait,
knight
what?
thing that I do.
I haven't asked my question
tell.
yet. Shut up.
Do you want to ask a question?
Oh, yeah, we gotta kick you around. No, but I did a actually Greg. This is the one time where I used "fuck you, Greg" for an actual proper reason. But you know, some people just use it in the polls. It doesn't make any sense. This was one time where I was like, "Fuck you, Greg," and it was a meme. It was a meme. I was like, "This is a good example." I made a meme, and it was when the COVID shit was happening, and the European Central Bank came out with their photo where they're all like spread out, and they're like perfectly spread out in this triangle. And I was like, holy shit, that reminds me of like the original Superman movies with General Zod and the dudes behind him standing in that little triangle formation. I was like, all right, I'm doing it. Spent like a couple of hours on this meme, and dressed all up the European Central Bank with the full Zod outfits and put in like General Zod in the front, and it was like, I was like, holy shit, this is gonna blow up. This is gonna be amazing. And then I found a quote from Superman movie, which was like, you know, it was like something to do with, you know, making sure that my people, you know, it was an awesome quote that like seemed to fit in with the whole like, you know, some animals are more equal than others kind of vibe. And then I posted it, and it got like 1 like, and I sent it to Greg, and I was like, dude, I spent like 2 hours on this. Like, what the fuck? It looks perfect. It looks amazing. And he was like, well, first of all, you used a quote from like the 2008 Superman movie, but then you used the original General Zod. So, and I was just like, fuck you, Greg.
we've all everybody has that moment.
Yep, we'll spend 2 hours on a meme. It'll tank, and then we could go Labra style and just send it, and it bangs.
Just send the shitty memes.
Actually, I meant we've all had that moment with Greg.
Yeah, I think Pedro meant we've all had the moment where even myself, where we were all saying "fuck you, Greg."
Even yourself.
Oh yeah. Got to embody the meme.
Like I'm sure it wasn't nothing to do with the fact no one else
that meme. So
wait. Bitcoin Chinchilla
Sila says that meme landed as good as Christopher Reeves.
Oh shit.
That's good.
Which is for anybody who doesn't know who that is, it's not well. He did not land well.
He's dead.
Because explaining a meme is the way to go, Greg. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
That's what makes it funny, right? You
Definitely
explain
makes it funny.
why it's funny.
Yeah, I feel like Yellow
Well,
just mic drop now. Yellow's not going to say a single word now for the rest. He's just like, oh, I'm out.
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
All right, man.
He's got his axe.
You were talking about coffee earlier. We got coffee filters. I don't know if you have anything to do with like how you filter things, but I've been thinking about Bitcoin as like a filter for everything, friends, people you talk to in life. I mean, do you put that that lens on ever?
Yeah. 100%. It's like I feel like sometimes Bitcoin puts you on this journey, and you hear the same story over and over again. And I was wondering, like, why do we keep hearing the same story? Why do we keep hearing the story that people joined during a pump? People joined, people made a shit ton of money, people lost it all. People tried to leverage what they had left on some shitcoin, and then lost that, and then started again, and just stacked sats, and has been hodling ever since. And you know, why do Bitcoiners respect time and money, and you know, and it makes you think like Bitcoin. And I was thinking like Bitcoin is this like is basically like a filter. It's like this filter that turns you into like a better human being. But I do notice if you tell that to someone that's not a Bitcoiner, you just sound like a psychopath. So like I get what the scientists are saying.
And that's why you got to be at the next conference. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well,
just to meet us all, because hanging out with the plebs, nothing better.
Yeah, and you don't come across. I was speaking to a guy called Bitcoin Mechanic Lex, and he's a cool dude, really cool dude, and he's always, even before Bitcoin, he always felt like something was wrong with society, and all of it. He's a super talented musician. I don't know if you guys have heard.
He's a musician.
Music. Yeah,
I've actually
I don't
not
know.
heard his music. I know him. He's a great lad. But
because you know him
he was
because
into
you're
music,
British.
but I've not heard any of
He
his
was on.
music.
He was on the podcast, wasn't he?
No.
I don't think you guys have had him on.
Yeah, we have.
No, we did.
We did.
It's basic.
You did have him on. We had him
him
on.
and Tomer
Oh, sick.
a few weeks back.
Him and
Came
Tomer and the
Bitcoin Granny.
Oh, and you
Granny.
came on that, Sean. That was it.
Oh,
I think.
nice.
You came on the spaces with Tomer and Mechanic.
Yeah.
Didn't
He I don't know. A lot of people I've met that are like musicians that have transitioned to other things don't like to talk about their music for some reason. But man, you listen to his stuff. He is such an epic voice, and he plays instrument. He plays instruments like multiple instruments. He's super talented. But he did this series where he set up. And I can't remember if this is before. I'm pretty sure this is before Bitcoin or before he was in Bitcoin, maybe, or maybe it's similar timing. But he used to go to all these places where you were not supposed to play music, and he just set up this like mini piano and just start singing this song, and you know, eventually he gets shut down by security and gets dragged off. It's a really cool series, but he felt like it just wasn't getting enough attraction that he wanted it to. The point he was trying to make, he just felt like it wasn't getting the attention that he wanted, so he gave it away. But man, yeah, he's really good. But he's got that same feeling like Bitcoin is finally that thing that fixes what's wrong with society in so many ways. So yeah, I like where he's coming to. Yeah, it's like a filter. It's like a filter that humanity has to pass through. In so much more ways than just keeping value of your money. Like it's like it changes so much. But again, you can't tell normies that. You pretty much have to bring in normies at the start of the journey. You know, hey man, you should get into this. You'll make money. It's like, and before they know it, they go down the psychopath route.
Make real money.
Yeah. Yeah, Bitcoin is the filter.
When you say it's a filter towards what? What happens on the other side of the filter? Who gets caught in the filter?
Yeah. Well, I guess the filter sometimes has some leaks, but I don't know. I feel like on the other side of the filter is like a world where we can like prosper again. We can like peace, prosperity,
optimism.
Like optimism. Yeah. The psychopath thing, the optimism.
Yeah, Simply Bitcoin said it today.
Simply Bitcoin said it today.
We're optimists. We're not psycho.
We're optimists. We're not psychopaths.
What
I did see someone say that.
A great bright orange future.
That was gay, Sean.
That was gay, Sean.
Yep.
Takes one to know one.
Triple gay.
Actually, Giacomo once called me a dangerous fanatic.
He did?
This actually, yeah, he called me a dangerous fanatic. It was during the start of COVID, and I feel like there's a little bit of an evolution in the whole COVID thing, where you did start to, you start off with going, yeah, okay, it makes sense, like, staying in our homes to stop this spread thing. It's yeah, all right, that sounds like it'd help, right? And then it was during when Italy was like, people were dropping dead, and there was like thousands of deaths, and it sounded pretty horrific, like in the mainstream media. It was sounding pretty horrific, and I was like, wow, okay, yeah. I mean, luckily in Australia here, we're like controlling a little bit, and we're keeping people, safe, and we're not having those thousands of deaths. Anyway, and Giacomo said something about it, and I replied to Giacomo, and I was like, nah, man, I think it's working. Like, we're, in Australia, it's kind of working, right? And he said, hey, man, I love your graphics, but I don't follow, dangerous fanatics. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna have to block you on Twitter.
Giacomo?
And yeah, and I was like, holy shit! Like me and Giacomo have spoken heaps, and we've worked on a bunch of stuff together. And I was like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what the hell? So I kind of thought about it for a while. I spoke to friends about it. Spoke to Bitcoiners about it, and you start to realize that it's a dangerous path. And I think that's and then I had this kind of, I guess you had that, like, I had that epiphany where I was like, holy shit, yeah, this is a dangerous path. Like, it starts with this, and it sounds fine, and then it goes like down a really dark, dangerous path, which it did in some of the states in Australia, and then it became super obvious. And then I spoke to Giacomo, and I said, I can, I spoke to some people. I've had to think about it. And I get it. Yeah, he was like, he said to me, like, usually people will double down in a situation like this, but he was like, I'm glad to see that, you changed your mind. And I think that's like a healthy thing to get told that you're a dangerous fanatic. So now anyone that tells me about COVID policies are good, I tell them they're a dangerous fanatic.
Yeah, great.
Rusty, I'm sorry to tell you, man, but I don't agree with you right now, and I'm gonna block you.
I'm sorry to tell you.
Do you know? I know that we don't have heroes and all the rest of it, and we're happy to slay anybody. But
did Mike just
Giacomo
talk right over Yellow when Yellow's about to ask a question?
Oh, sorry, Yellow. Go on, mate.
You fucking steamrolled him.
I thought he just made a comment.
Yellow, what's up?
What's your Yellow? Talk to me.
No.
All right, so Mike's question.
I want to know. I want to know why Yellow disagrees.
It's too bad you won't find it now. You're not gonna find it now.
Jesus.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
I thought he was joking. Shut up, Greg. Yellow, have you got a question?
No.
No. All right.
No.
So I think.
All right, everybody buckle up. It's going to take a couple minutes to get there.
Yeah, we've got a long runway. No, we don't have a long runway.
You're doing one breath, Mike.
Giacomo,
one breath,
yeah,
one breath only.
In like 20 seconds, all right? You're taking up my time, guys. Yellow's left the room.
Yellow peeped out.
He's so good smart.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, Yellow.
Right. Here's
I'm not going to be able to sleep
if I
now
wasn't
until
a
I find
question,
out.
I didn't have a question. I was just going to say, big up Giacomo, because he was a bit of an unsung hero for me. Because right at the start of COVID, there were a few guys that were completely on it, right, unwavering from the start, and I wasn't one of them, right. I saw these videos coming out of China, and it did concern me. But there were a few people who were totally on the ball, and Giacomo was one of them. And still my favourite quote from the last 2 years is from Giacomo gave, like, he was holding court with a load of his Italian friends. These were like older guys on a video call. And you kind of forget that we deal with people like Gigi, you know, he runs a German podcast. He's got loads of like German listeners. Giacomo's got lots of Italian fans, people who speak Italian, all the rest of it. And we don't get any exposure to that content. But I saw this thing and there was a translation and he said, you have to be careful with what's going on right now. And you have to be careful not of the Nazi that you see in other people, but of the Nazi inside of you.
Mm-hmm. Jawohl.
And that really fucking rang a bell, because you can convince yourself of certain things and be really fervently supporting it. And it's like Mark Twain said, right? There's, I'm going to completely ruin this quote, but there's nothing so dangerous as, you know, not knowing something. It's knowing something for certain when it just ain't so. And I think that kind of defines so much of what we, Yellow,
we see your nuts.
Thrusting a Red Bull into my face.
Those aren't nuts.
But I think that's such a big part of the problems that we have now. It's these fervent pushes of bullshit that are kind of on the wrong side of all of this. And it's great that you can evaluate your own place in all of this and change your mind.
So Rusty, considering all this what happened in Australia, has it like changed you in any way, or did you make any other decision?
Load over him before you can say anything. Oh, we're not muted. My bad. So go ahead.
I liked it. That was deep. I think you do need to be able to change your mind about things. Anyway, I'm gonna have to block out Yellow. He's like, I'm worried about Yellow now. He's gonna come up with that.
Got you.
Australia is not quite as bad as it definitely got bad there for a while. And there was some pretty dangerous narratives going around, especially with like states like Melbourne. Western Australia are still going through full, some pretty crazy mandates and stuff. They're just coming off them now, which is kind of insane. But yeah, it definitely got better. It got way better. We're back to a point now where no one even talks about it again because everyone's talking about the war in Ukraine and whatever. So yeah, pretty much doesn't affect anything. They moved on. We've got an election coming up in Australia, a federal election. So yeah, there definitely no mandates they want to push right now. Because they're going for
what
votes.
happened to all the hotels,
Yeah.
like the internment camp hotels for COVID folks?
So the funniest one was the one in Queensland. So they built. I'm pretty sure that it was in Queensland. Yeah, they built and they just finished it just as the Omicron wave or whatever you want to call it came through, and pretty much everyone started forgetting about the cases because it was like 10,000 a day or whatever. I was like, fuck it, whatever. Let's not even think about it anymore. And they just finished it just as we kind of just everything stopped. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't think there's anyone in it. So
Airbnb.
Maybe they'll. Yeah, well, I mean, we have a pretty strict immigration policy here. We had this big campaign called Stop the Boats. It was like the biggest political campaign in the last 10 years. It's crazy. Everyone was just concerned about these boats rolling up with refugees and people trying to get to Australia. And so there's all these really bad stories about families being kept on these islands off the coast of Australia, and it's just some horrific stories of families being trapped in these basically these prison camps for years, waiting for their visas and things like that to get approved to come to Australia as refugees. And so I'm thinking maybe they'll use it for that. Maybe they'll start having because I mean there's fences, there's security cameras. I don't know what they're gonna use it for. It's a little bit creepy when you look at it.
Use it for you later.
Maybe they'll use it for psychopaths.
Yeah.
For a dog pound. For a dog pound for Labra.
Oh shit.
Maybe.
Labras.
No, but things are good. Things are good in Australia. It's definitely not as bad as Canada. I think Canada's taking all the focus now.
Do you feel better about yourself now that Canada's the one that's authoritarian?
Yeah.
Makes you feel better.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Oceania.
I feel better.
It's nice to have a low boy on the totem pole in Oceania.
You wanna feel worse?
China right now, actually.
New Zealand wasn't too bad either.
I would love to feel worse, Yellow. Please make me feel worse.
Yeah.
Factosis from your country.
Yeah.
Ooh. You don't win that one.
No.
Yeah, no, because he is from our country. That's you know how you like try to claim people? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're trying to unclaim him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't he like British or something? I thought he was he's basically British.
I heard he was Canadian.
RD.
Oh, he's trying to throw him on.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make him British.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking dare.
All right, all 13 of you that are paying attention. Fake Toshi, British.
Another detail that is bothering me for a while now. Okay, so lightsabers don't stay on if there's no grip. It only stays on if they're thrown because that's the force activating the thing. So if there's no grip, it should be off.
When you say grip,
what if you're gripping it from the force? What if you're gripping it from the force?
Yeah, that's only when it's thrown. When it's thrown, it's on.
But that's a picture.
How does one turn on a lightsaber?
Don't you just press the button? Isn't it got a button or something?
There's a button, right?
Yeah.
So if you let go, it stays on.
It's off. No, it's off.
So if you had the power of the force,
like a gas tank,
would you jerk off with the force?
Yes.
No, that's a Rusty question. Rusty, would you jerk off with the? Would you be a force user that jacked it with the force? Would you force jack?
That's a new one. Force jack. I don't. Yeah.
Force strangle yourself.
100% feel like this is a
We'll
trap.
work up to that. We're gonna find out if he's gonna force jack first.
Yeah. You know, it feels like one of those questions that's like a full trap, and I feel like I just want to stay away from it.
All right, so that's a yes.
Oh,
so if you're gonna force jack, are you also gonna force penetrate yourself?
It's that moment when Rusty realizes he won't be sharing this clip with his mom.
No, he won't. Or wife, or kids.
I definitely haven't told my family, just in case.
that was a smart move.
Yeah.
That's why we never get any viewers here.
Except for the Michael, I was like looking through your views because I was like, how many views do these guys get? Because maybe you know this could be a way to pump my website, get some sales, got some cool T-shirts and shit.
Sorry.
And like unless
you're
Michael
welcome
Saylor's on there, and thanks, Yellow. I didn't do the shirts in like a toddler size. But there's some cool stuff. There's a pet tag. You can get a Yellow. There's like a Bitcoin maximalist pet tag. That could be cool.
Why did you single out Yellow instead of the dog?
He saw my EP that I entered the site from Greece.
I got you.
Yeah.
Is it time?
That makes
for
actually
Artie's question?
It might be time for Artie's question. Do you feel like it's time for Artie's
question? That makes a lot more sense.
Lever Huddle went to the restroom right now. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, he's resetting the node.
Artie.
Wake up, Artie.
He's unmuted. He unmuted.
Shh. Okay, man. Let me get my notes.
Come on.
If the meme factory did exist, and we all know it doesn't, who would you like? Who would you retweet? And who would you mute?
Okay, so like obviously I'm not gonna lie, I've been thinking about this question all week.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. And I feel like Yellow's doing some things to try and so what I was thinking about like and I definitely can't like any of Greg's stuff because then influence would call me and tell me to fire myself. so I can't like Greg. But if I had to like someone, at the moment, I have to go with RD, and it's not because I was putting him down earlier. 100%. It's just like, I like his style of memes. That's my like. The retweet was an easy one for me, which was yellow, because everything he makes is it just has the right amount of effort, mixed with the right amount of shitty editing, and it just it's like this kind of it's just he has the magic sauce. He has the magic sauce.
Yeah, he's got that Malacca.
Anything that
Malacca
sauce.
I'm back after three blocks. I'm back.
How many Red Bulls have you had this episode? That's what I want to know.
Don't do
Many.
care, okay?
We need to keep a scoreboard of overall like, retweet, mute.
Don't you worry about it.
Thanks for volunteering, Sean.
Yes, Sean. Thanks.
Yep.
I expect to see it soon. I really appreciate that you.
Labrahoddle's gonna make one during his.
Great idea, Sean.
Yeah, Sean. It's like you got to work. You get like 12 broken legs, don't you?
2.
With that light, Sean looks like the human version of me.
Of your what? All right, so who are you retweeting?
Yellow puppet.
He retweeted yellow.
He retweeted yellow? Wait, who do you like?
Yeah,
He
well, I
liked
like
RD,
RD. I
Greg.
like
Keep up.
RD. I like RD. I don't know. For some reason, I like RD. But I don't know why everyone else doesn't choose yellow for retweet. It seems like the most obvious choice for sure.
Well,
like,
you must have missed the Peter McCormack episode. That there was never.
I kind of deserve that.
Yeah, you were pretty hard on him. I had to say, you were pretty fucking hard on him. But then mute. Well, I was thinking about this, and I was like, well, I could probably get away with muting Greg, because
it's too obvious.
All of his content pretty much comes from me anyway. So.
What the shit?
You might have cracked that ego.
He's right though. Anybody who wants to do content should go to World of Rusty for it and pay him, like I do.
Wait, but you said that you are you gonna?
So yeah, I'm gonna mute Greg. So like RD, mute Greg, retweet yellow.
Thank you, sir.
That's my final decision.
All right.
Sorry, Sean. I forgive you because we became best friends over this podcast. I feel like I should have put you in there somewhere.
You can block Sean.
I'm just
just
scroll. You just scrolled right by me. I posted
all right.
something. You
It's all right.
scrolled
Sean's
right
gonna redeem himself. He's got an invite for you, and it's gonna make you feel terrible for not even naming him. Oh, he froze.
Nice.
Okay.
I love that Sean just
I love
froze.
where
He was like
he froze.
gearing up for his moment.
Yeah,
too.
it looks like he's about to kiss you. You think he's going to kiss you?
Can we end the
Oh, he's
stream?
back. He's back. He's back.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you said something,
you're back. You're back.
Yeah,
You were kissing him. You were kissing him, and then what?
and then dissing him. I kiss and then I diss.
So you got an invite, sir. Why don't you hit him with it?
Need some lotion. World of Rusty, my man. We got the Bitcoin 2024 having party dog coming to a
Cut the stream,
near you.
please.
Cut the
What?
stream.
I'm
What?
nothing.
Did you
I
say
didn't say,
pound
I
in
didn't
there?
say anything. No.
Let him finish.
Labradoodle, what block height's the having party?
You tell me.
840,000.
Let's go.
You're invited. Rusty, you're invited. Your kids are invited. Your wife's invited. Your neighbors are invited. Hide your wife and hide your kids, but don't hide your neighbors. It's going to be a blast. Marcus is planning it. I'm doing none of the planning. Just joking. It's going to be a good time.
I'm dying from greed.
Pumped. Yeah, I'm totally pumped. That's 100% made my week. Coming to the party. So you said town near me.
Ours too.
So where have we got a location? Is there a location yet?
It's going to be somewhere where people aren't, where everyone can go.
The headquarters of Twitter.
Cheers.
Headquarters of Twitter. Oh yeah, CEO headquarters.
All right,
I like
Rusty.
it. That's exciting. I'll be there.
Excellent.
All right.
Actually, I do have something for you, Sean. Hang on. I don't know if RD wanted to introduce this.
Be a penis.
I got something for you. Here it is.
Oh shit!
I see Sean.
Oh, thank you, Rusty.
Nice.
That looks so good, and Marcus is perfect as Marvin.
Whoa, that's sick.
Oh, that's so fantastic.
That is badass.
I love it.
Oh
Rusty.
my gosh, Rusty, you're a king.
You are the only person who's come on the pod that offered a gift. That's
He hasn't
I can
sent
get
it
rid of
yet.
that shitty.
You're coming back.
It's not a gift.
You're coming back. Is all I gotta say.
Good.
Yeah, send me an
Thank
invoice.
you.
Send me an invoice.
I need to at least send you a few stats for that, dude.
We're finishing the pod. What are you doing?
Bitcoiner's Guide.
Why did
Nice.
you put me up here?
Hello.
She's come up to check out Bitcoiner's Guide, new thumbnail. Look at that.
That
Check
is
out.
so cool, man.
That is dope.
That's awesome.
All right, Rusty. Do you have any questions for the Meme Factory while you've got us here and captive?
Oh man. I pretty much used up all my questions earlier with the trademark thing, and then the shitty editing question that I had for RD, and then yeah, that was it. You guys rock. And yeah, you make everyone's life better.
No, you.
Why can they not hear
Wait,
me?
who-
No,
You rock, sir.
who's that?
It was a pleasure being here, dude. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and thanks so much for all your support too. Like
Mama, we're done. In a minute.
you know, all the work you give me. Jeff Force has been awesome in getting me work, and Greg's like super generous. I do all the thumbnails for your show and for Meme Factory stuff, and it's a privilege.
You did all the thumbnails until recently when I was derided for using the same one over and over again.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the magic, using the same thumbnail over and over again.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Nico.
Yeah, Nico,
Yeah,
boss.
And it was a pleasure sending you work, Rusty. You're
It
amazing.
is a pleasure. You're fantastic, man.
I love
for
it.
hanging out with
I
us.
love it. I love that I get to do what I love for Bitcoins, for stats. I love it.
All right, so before we bounce this out, where can people find you?
Yeah, so Ward of Rusty on Twitter. Just launched my wardofrusty.com. You can order some art, get some. I'm mainly putting it on these big canvas prints. I like the it comes on like a stretched frame canvas. I love the texture, nice and big, 36 inches wide. Yeah, there's a few up there. I'm gonna get some more stuff up there, and yeah, I'm gonna have fun with it. Get some art. A lot of people have been asking for a while. Need some wall art, and yeah, so I'm gonna start doing a bit more of that. And yeah, but mainly just on Twitter.
Yep, and hit Rusty for your custom work. Absolutely.
Absolutely, and check out down in the show notes. We got his website, we got his Twitter handle, you got everything you need to check him out. On that
Yeah,
note.
DM me for requests. Yeah, I love it. Enjoy it.
Full corners preferred.
All right, so thank you everybody for tuning
Full
in
corners
tonight. Have a good night.
Subscribe.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, guys.